Recently I made a video demonstrating how my dog Rhea could leave a piece of tempting meat on the floor while I leave the room completely, and I'm going to show you exactly how I taught my dog how to leave it, which I think is very important for many reasons, which I'll get to later. So we have 6-month-old Zoey here, and we're going to start off with her very first training session ever. So I'm going to start off by just giving the dog treats to let her know that the rewards come from me, and I'm also getting an early start to building eye contact by luring her to look at me in the eyes with the treat. And the keyword I'm going to be using to show her that she is doing a good job is the word yes, which I say enthusiastically. Although I recommend using a clicker because it's more of a distinct sound for the dog. So I'm going to start by putting a piece of food on the ground. I'm going to cover it before the dog has a chance to eat it. And then I'm going to wait for eye contact before I give her the reward.
She's gonna give up and she's gonna look at me. And as soon as she gives me the eye contact, then I'm gonna let her have it. So she's gonna start catching on. Like,
So I'm pretty much trying to get the dog to understand that there's no use of going for the treat because she's not going to be able to get it. I'm just going to cover it. And the only way she's going to get rewarded is if she backs off and looks at me in the eyes. And if your dog is really persistent and licks at your hand, maybe paws at it, make a fist and wait for them to back off of your fist, give you eye contact, and then reward.
Zoey, leave it.
It's okay to make a sound or call their name to encourage eye contact. Do everything you can to get your dog's attention back on you and off of the treat. But also give your dog a chance to think for themselves and figure it out on their own. Oh yeah, I brought my dog for this session. Look at her being a good dog over there.
So good.
She was whining. I think she was getting jealous. Poor girl.
Zoey, leave it.
So I haven't started using the word leave it yet. Or I may have said it a few times and I said it now. However, don't say leave it yet.
Zoey, leave it.
Just build the understanding that there's no point of going towards the treat because you're just going to cover it up.
Yes. Okay. It's okay. Get it.
So now I'm saying get it. I'm telling her okay. That's my release word. Okay. Good job. So on day one, I only spent about 15 to 20 minutes with her, and actually that's all the amount of time I'm going to spend with her each day. And as you'll see, it only took her 3 days to learn this pretty well. So I'm just continuing what I was doing. I'm putting a piece of food on the ground, and I'm covering it before she has a chance to eat it. I'm encouraging eye contact, and then I'm rewarding her. The only difference is that today I started adding in the command leave it
Leave it.
as soon as I throw it on the ground.
Yes, good girl. Leave it.
Just to start getting her used to it. However, don't abuse the word.
Yes, good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Yes, good girl. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Get it.
So I'm also teaching her get it and okay. Kind of like the release word saying, alright, it's okay to get it now if you want.
Yes.
The good thing about leave it is that once you build on it and strengthen it, it can go as far as to telling your dog to leave it when they see a squirrel or a cat or another dog that you can tell they might be interested in going after. It works on my dog every time when I'm walking and she sees a cat and she's getting real tempted, she might want to go after it. I say leave it, and she understands. So it doesn't just pertain to food items.
Leave it. Ah, bad. No. No, 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 no.
That was a fail. And I didn't hit her. I didn't hit her after she ate it. I just said no, and I wasn't fast enough. It was my fault. I just kind of stood up, turned my back on her for a second, and back to work.
Yes.
So she's getting really good at this. I'll make a fist and I'll say leave it. She backs off and looks at me in the eye. This will help you get it closer and closer to the ground without your dog going after it right away.
Leave it.
Persistence.
Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good, leave it.
It looks monotonous. Well, because it is.
Leave it.
But look how fast she's learning.
Here. Yes.
So not only is she learning leave it, but I'm also building a stronger eye contact, which builds an overall stronger communication between your dog and humans.
Leave it. No, 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 Zoey. Don't give up.
I said don't give up. I'm encouraging her to succeed.
Yes.
I saved her from failing.
Good girl.
In return, she gets rewarded heavily.
Leave it. Yes. See? That's what gets you treats. It's a big piece. Leave it. Yes, good girl.
There you go. She's catching on.
Look at you, smart.
She's realizing there's no point in going after it,
Leave it, Zoey.
and that it's in her best interest to leave it anyways. Because even if she does get it, well, now she gets one little piece, and then I kind of take my attention away from her, and she knows what dogs know. They can read your energy.
Treats come from me.
If you tell them no, and they can tell when you're disappointed in them, believe me.
Yes, look at that, Zoey. Look at that. That's incredible. This is like.
So I'm just kind of increasing the amount of pieces that I'm putting on the ground. I'm increasing the temptation.
Yes. See how much better that results in? Up here. Yes.
Building a stronger,
Leave it.
longer eye contact.
Yes, good girl.
So this is pretty much real-time training.
Leave it.
And again, I only spent about 15 minutes with her at a time. I recommend only doing about 15 minutes per trick or command. So if I was going to spend an hour with her, I would probably focus on about 3 to 5 different things, honestly.
Yes, good girl.
But obviously it really depends on the situation. And the point is that I don't want to bore her to death with teaching her one thing.
Yes, good girl. The whole pile.
So just to show that, I don't want her looking at me just because I have a treat in my hand. I'm showing that there's nothing in my hand.
Yes, good girl.
It's all about eye contact.
Good girl.
So that was a really productive day. So
Zoey?
we're gonna call it a day. Day 3. The weather is much nicer,
Leave it.
and the dog is already much smarter. Look at her.
Leave it.
So what I'm doing there
Good girl.
is I'm just pinching the tree. It's sort of like the same concept as having it in your fist,
Leave it.
except it's making it a little bit harder for her because it's right there and she can lick it and nibble at it.
Leave it. Yes, good girl. Perfect. Zoey. Yeah, good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Yes.
I use that
good
sound
girl.
a lot. I guess it must be really annoying for dogs or something because they really seem to understand it, and I do it right before she's about to mess up.
Zoey.
So it's pretty much me trying to save her, letting her know she's about to do something wrong. Anyway, so I'm just spending a few extra moments building eye contact. I was luring her eyes to my eyes with the treat, and now I took the treat away. Good job. Back to leave it.
Zoey.
And this is also really great for puppies too because it gets them used to your hands being around their mouth and food at the same time.
Zoey. Leave it.
So there I am just pinching the treat, like I said earlier. It's making it a little bit harder for her.
Leave it. Yes.
So look at that. She is a fast learner, this one.
Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Yes.
So as you can see, this only took 3 days, and she's already learned the concept really well. So once you make it this far, all you have to do is keep on building on it
Leave it.
and making it stronger. Make the treats more tempting. Use pieces of cheese, pieces of real meat. You can transfer this
Leave it.
to a toy. So if it's a ball she really likes, you can start throwing it or tossing it off to the side and teaching her to leave it.
Leave it.
Just remember, don't push a dog too far too fast.
Leave it.
Just go back a step if you feel like you have.
Zoey.
Right now I'm going to try to push her really hard. I'm throwing several pieces of treats down, and then I'm going to kind of just toss them around to make it more distracting.
Leave it.
Ooh, that was really close.
Yes, good girl. Yes.
So work with this on your dog, and eventually it'll be so strong you can be eating a plate of food, watching TV. You can set it down on the table right there, tell your dog to leave it. You can go to the bathroom, you come back, and your food will be there untouched. And it goes even further than food.
Leave it.
It helps teach your dog to leave it
Zoey.
when it's a squirrel, a cat, or another dog during a walk.
Good girl.
It teaches them not to pick things off the ground during a walk, and also to leave it if you drop something dangerous such as a pill or a piece of chocolate.
Zoey. Leave it. Yes, good girl.
So we've come a lot in just 3 days and just about 1 hour spent with this dog. So if you just keep on building with this, it'll get stronger and stronger, and you can transfer to other things, and it really helps build an overall stronger communication between you and your dog. So thanks for watching. Check out my website, dogtrainingnerd.com.